when an individual has injured their hamstrings, the mechanism of injury is typically either a fast contraction or a fast stretch. So the fast contraction would occur through a sudden sprint from the mark, and the fast stretch would occur where the foot has slid on a soft surface, for example. So eccentric loading of the hamstrings can be very important for a number of reasons. Firstly, because an eccentric contraction of the muscle gives you maximum contraction. So when we're trying to get muscle hypertrophy, or where we're trying to simply increase strength, eccentrics is likely to give us a better result. And secondly, we have seen in the text that often it is the eccentric point of failure which causes the injury. So as the person slides that foot out on a wet surface, on a wet pitch, the muscle is failing in its eccentric action. So what we set up is a pad on the floor, and then we're going to get our subject to kneel down. By kneeling down, obviously, we're taking the emphasis from the knee towards the hip, so it's moving the emphasis on the hamstrings upwards. So if we wanted to exercise the hamstring, focus more on a hamstring tendinopathy of the knee, we would do a separate exercise with our knee straight. But for this one, we're going up towards the upper insertion. So if you kneel yourself down onto a pad, so we've got a 2 or 3 inch pad, and we've got 2 actions that we can use. So obviously the hamstring is working with the gluteal muscles, so they're both hip extensors, but of course the hamstring is a knee flexor as well, so we're going to work on both of those. So the classic Nordic exercise is simply to come forwards from using the knee joint as the fulcrum, and to go right down to the floor, and obviously the last part of the exercise is the point of failure. So we're actually trying to tax the athlete to the point of failure. So maximum pressure, and then he's going forwards, control, 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 and then as it's lost, he fails down and he takes his weight onto his hands. So let's just try that again. So eccentric contraction, hands come forwards, and then he's failing at the last movement. So we can change the emphasis to focus on the hamstrings, but also onto the gluteal muscles by now involving movement of the hip. So all he's now going to do is do the Nordic with a hip hinge movement. So this is a modified Nordic, so we're just going forwards and then coming back again. And then going forwards and coming back again. So it's the equivalent of doing the good morning exercise that we would do in weight training, but with a knee fully bent, or the bent knee deadlift, or the Romanian deadlift, with the knee bent further. So that's our Nordic hamstring curl sequence.